Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. The price of XRP is down another 3.45% over the past 25 hours, but this isn't something unique to XRP. Broader crypto markets have just been dropping, and this is something that many analysts that I follow were anticipating was probable to happen, as I was reporting leading up to this event. And so while I'm not a chart analyst, because there are a few things that bore me more than that. I'm glad there are people out there that really enjoy digging into the technical analysis, and that's super duper. But even though I think it's about as interesting as watching paint dry, I do genuinely appreciate their efforts and sharing their perspective on what the most probable outcomes are, because I do think that can help people temper expectations. And not that they're wizards and they don't crystal balls, I got that. But still, I think that there is actually something to it. So yes, price XRP's down, like I said, against a larger drop for broader crypto markets. But the question is then, how low are things actually going to go? And that's part of what I want to talk about here. Regardless of what ultimately happens, though, I continue to just not have emotions. Emotions are stupid, so I just don't have them. It does not impact me one tiny little bit seeing the price of XRP go down, and it is my favorite cryptocurrency. It is my largest crypto holding on an individual level by a lot. And I've been doing this over half a decade. It just doesn't faze me in the least bit. And I'm sure many of you, you're probably similar at this point. If you've been in crypto for a while, now if you're new, maybe you're not feeling that way. There are some newer people jumping in right now. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. You definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, oh, by the way, in case anyone's curious what the hell time it is, 5:18 a.m., that's Central Standard Time because I live in the Midwest here in the United States, Saturday, April 22nd. In XRP's 45 cents, 24-hour low of 44 cents, so pretty close to it. You've got Bitcoin here at 27,328. with a 24-hour low of $27,249. You've got the market cap for the asset class 1.17 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 44.82%. Crypto fear and greed index 53 out of 100. So people are out of greed now, which isn't terribly surprising. People are just kind of feeling neutral, so not fearful at this point. But things may drop a little bit further. And again, before this all happened, I was highlighting that a number of analysts were noting this is probable. Nothing goes up in a straight line forever, but still, it just doesn't freaking matter in the end. In fact, look at this new tweet from chart analyst Credible Crypto. He shared this with his 340,000 followers all up on the Twitters. He said, if your macro thesis on Bitcoin has changed because of a $2,000 pullback after a $10,000 plus vertical rally from $19,000 to $30,000 plus, you are doing it wrong. I covered this in my last video made over a week ago. Nothing has changed. Pullbacks on the way up are normal and healthy. Bitcoin. And indeed, and I actually shared his perspective at the time, as we were over $30,000. This shouldn't have caught anybody off guard if you're paying attention. It's not that we knew for sure this was going to happen, but in terms of likelihood, yes, absolutely. Not a big deal. Here's a separate tweet from Credible Crypto. He wrote in part, retests of key levels are common in crypto. The last major retest we had was at $19,000 before our rally to $30,000 plus. A retest of $25,000 here would be logical and healthy. And of course, there's always that one little wild card thing that is XRP specific. When we going to get that legal clarity from Judge Torres in the SEC v. Ripple case? When are we going to get that positive news? That's coming, right? Because if that happens, even if it's a day where everything's in the red, I think people are going to get pretty damn excited, and I would still expect, no matter when that news breaks, as long as it's actually positive news, that XRP is still going to rock it. And I don't pretend to know when that's going to happen, but it's inevitable. At some point, we're going to have that news break. We're just going to wake one day, and bam, there it'll be. Here's this tweet from my fellow XRP YouTuber, the Blockchain Backer. He wrote, we spent weeks talking about $27,000 Bitcoin and 44 cent to 46 cent XRP. They reach at the exact same time with high volume. Now, looking to see if buyers step in here to give an ending to this initial leg down. And so indeed, the Blockchain Backer is another analyst out there who called this. He said that this is what is most probable. Called the rise, called the pause, called the drop. And he has shared some perspective of, in terms of, he's been sharing some charts in recent videos indicating where perhaps XRP might go. And just in looking at the charts, it's clear that it's not outside the realm of possibility to see, XRP back in the 30-something cent range. But if it happens, it does. I don't think it's going to matter, because my investment thesis since, over half a decade ago is that either XRP goes to zero or at some unknown point in the future it hits a new all-time high. It's, for me, a binary bet. One of those things is going to happen. I don't know when, but it's going to happen, and I'm going to have exposure to XRP when that happens. And you know what my bet is? We move into the upside at some point in the future. Then there's also chart analyst Rakesh Upadhyay, who writes for Cointelegraph, and I'm just going to share one sentence here because conceptually, it seems like he's thinking kind of in line with the blockchain backer, frankly. Rakesh Upadhyay wrote the following. It looks like the pair, he's talking about XRP here, it looks like the pair may trade inside a large range between 56 cents and 30 cents for a while longer. So we may have to wait, and maybe that is what it's going to look like, but price doesn't stay stagnant forever. It's just, crypto's so damn volatile that may feel like a gigantic move, and compared to legacy finance, if you're looking at, for instance, equities, these percentage, gains and losses, absolutely wild. But for crypto, frankly, this is pretty normal. And so this type of behavior, knowing that it's normal, we have 14 years worth of history going, since the beginning of Bitcoin. It's not logical. I know people will get fearful when the price goes down. I just don't think it's logical to. We should to feel that way. We know that happens. It would be weird if it stopped happening. That's all I'm saying. And also, there was, here's the headline. Check this out. Now, this is kind of interesting. There's an article from the Daily Huddle titled, Crypto Analytics Platform Sentiment Issues Warning, says one Bitcoin metric flashing a concerning signal. And what I just want to cover a portion of this article is interesting, but it has to do with the human feels. Because it's always going to be humans that decide the price of any asset, in an open market. And when it comes to what's going on right here, it's just interesting that human behavior isn't always so rational. And I've said many times before, and I'm sure if you've been in crypto a while, you know this, but whatever the crowd in a general sense thinks is most probable to happen frequently is not what actually happens. And I'm a big fan of Sentiment, so always interested to hear their perspective. But a piece reads as follows. Sentiment is also tracking social media trends, which can provide useful data some traders use to try and predict Bitcoin's price action. And so Sentiment said, quote, looking at social data first, we're seeing a trend that you'll like to see if you're a crypto bull. Over the past 5 weeks, traders have gradually become less and less optimistic toward the top assets in crypto. We have backtested years of data and have found that prices historically move in the direction of the crowd's least expectations. When traders are showing more and more doubt, it increases the probability of continued price rises, end quote. And I know that would sound counterintuitive, perhaps, especially if you're new to the concept, but it's the case. Whatever, just like when Bitcoin hit its all-time high in 2021, close to $70,000, what was everybody screaming? Oh, it's going to go to $100,000. It's going to go to $200,000. Except absolutely not. And then when Bitcoin hit its low in November after the FTX collapse of whatever it was, something like 15,500, somewhere around there anyway, what were people screaming? The sage wisdom at that point was, oh, we're going to be seeing $12,000 Bitcoin in no time. Oh, yeah, but we didn't. We saw a reversal to the upside. And it's the same thing we saw for the market cycle before that. When Bitcoin hit its all-time, or not all-time low, its cycle low in December, it was December 15th of 2018. It was somewhere around the neighborhood of like $3,200, I think. And people were screaming, oh, it's going to $2,000. It's going to $1,000. That was, that's what the Wizards of Smart were saying. I'd say that sarcastically, the typical retail lemming speculators out there. But it's just, again, it's just like it's the same damn human behavior and tendencies over and over and over again, and you can count on people to just continue to be complete and utter idiots. And that's part of my investing strategy. I'm counting on the useful idiots there to do their useful idiot thing, and then I just sit back doing nothing. And then at some point, when because of their irrational behavior they result in such volatility that especially as more people jump into crypto, demand increases. That results in my crypto being worth way more. Then I will sell. But I ain't going to be jumping in the mosh pit with all these damn lemming retail idiots. Like, they're useful idiots, but they're idiots. I'm not going to do that. Piece continues. However, sentiment says discussions on social media platforms are declining overall. So check out this too. Quote, right now, we can see that there is a declining amount of both bullish and bearish candles from the crowd. In fact, there are less participants engaging in discussion on Twitter, Discord, Telegram, and Reddit compared to the beginning of the year. This decline simply means the crowd doesn't know what to think. Generally, declining crowd interest even as prices rise usually means there is some disbelief going on. Now, that's interesting though. I'm sure just about everybody listening has seen what I just pulled up on my screen through a quick Google search here. It's the Wall Street cheat sheet, Psychology of a Market Cycle. We've all seen this umpteen million times, right? But I pulled up just to remind you, disbelief is what happens before there actually is a revival. And then hope comes back. That's the last part. So you can see already trending upward. And we have been this year, haven't we? We've been trending upwards dramatically this year. And now there's a little pullback and people are like, this is a sucker's rally. This is the disbelief stage. So then what happens after? Again, however long it takes, and it's not like I'm predicting if we get an all-time high in this year at some point, next year or whatever it end up being. I don't make price predictions, and as far as the timing, I don't pretend to know. But whether it happens this year or next year or whenever it happens, if you just look at the structure, you can kind of see, just even as a layperson, even if you're not into technical analysis, just like I'm not, you can spot this type of behavior, right? Because it's human behavior and it causes these emotions. You can see where we are, right? Even if you don't, get into the nitty gritty and understand things like to the level, for instance, the blockchain backer. I get it, but still, this is a pretty basic concept that anybody with half a brain can understand and observe for themselves. So, all that to say, when it comes to XRP, this is an exciting time to be an XRP holder because XRP really is about to be the only large cap cryptocurrency with legal clarity, for better or worse. And I think it's going to be for better. We'll see what happens, but I am rather optimistic at this particular point in time. So even though it's plausible that in the coming days we may see Bitcoin drop further, perhaps to $25,000 or $26,000, that would cause obviously the rest of the crypto markets to, shake a little bit. I don't care. It won't matter. However long this takes, we're going to get through it. And there will be a moment where at some point the useful idiots out there will be in extreme greed. That, mark my words, that's going to happen at some unknown point in the future. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.